How's it, everyone? I'm your host, Latronic, and welcome to Board Stories TV. This time on the show, we're checking out stop number 3 on the IBA Hawaii Tour at Sandy Beach. With a full field of top seeds, junior pro standouts, men, women, and drop knee rippers, the IBA Hawaii Sandy Beach Challenge saw a true mix of riders spanning multiple generations. From the older crew like Mike Stewart and Alistair Taylor, through Guilherme Tamega, the Hubbards, and Jacob Romero, all the way down to the youngest competitor at age 12, the stoke of bodyboarding and level of action was a true testament to how dedicated Hawaii's bodyboard scene is. Sandy Beach is the perfect spot for an IBA event, so let's head down to Half Point and get into the action. Located at the southeastern corner on the island of Oahu, Sandy Beach is world famous for sunny days, epic shore break, and a thriving beach scene. And for bodyboarders, the mix of sand and reef at Half Point provide the perfect arena to show their skills.
Half Point is a swell magnet. Swells from a bunch of directions get in here. Mostly likes the south and the east, I'd say. What happens at Half Point is you get these open ocean swells, the wave surges and sucks, providing open sections for bodyboarders to just launch and shine.
Not only is it like a wave magnet, but it's like an open spot on the end of the island that everybody takes a trek at during the weekends to come down here, have their barbecues, everything, and just have a big party down here.
Go in the water all day, eat, go back in the water, eat again, then go back in the water. Do whatever you want, stand up, drop knee, prone.
One of the most attracting places to come by. It's a very epic wave for bodyboarding. A decent barrel, maybe 2-3 seconds, and then it'll come out into an A-frame. So it's perfect for launching.
Pretty rampy and bowly, and it's super consistent, probably one of the most consistent waves on the island for bodyboarding. Trade swell, south swell, that's gonna make it break almost all year round.
It never disappoints, it's always good. Where everywhere else is flat, there's always waves here, big or small.
I think it's a perfect wave for performance and like a little playground, catches any swell.
Slabby, wedgy, good for ramps, good for nice clean bowls. When it gets high tide here, that's about the best time because it doesn't really bite on the reef as hard and it's a little bit more of a cleaner, more fuller wave, especially because there's more water on the reef.
Sandy Beach, Half Point, trying to catch some waves. It's low tide, it's kind of deadly, but still going. You can pop the sashimi rock.
The left, it's like a big barrel, and then you gotta watch out for, I'm pretty sure it's called sashimi rock or whatever, because before you're gonna hit the lip, you're gonna look at that rock. If it's a contest and they're in dead last and they're just like, I gotta do something, they're gonna hit it, but you gotta be careful, because if you hit that rock, there's a bunch of vod on it. You're probably gonna end up in the hospital, guaranteed.
As the third of 4 stops in the IBA Hawaii Tour, the Sandy Beach Challenge is crucial for gaining valuable tour points. And thanks to the many supporting sponsors and over $10,000 in cash and prizes, a top-notch field came out, making the competition tough.
The competitors go from just like legends to just a random bodyboarder that's just out there having fun. It's all about who gets the waves. And that's what's good about Half Point too, is you can be in anybody and still win, you know, because it's all about getting the right wave.
I mean, you got Guilherme Tamega, who's a 6-time world champion. Jeff Hubbard, who's a 3-time world champion. Dave Hubbard's the drop knee world champion. The competition's pretty tough, for sure. You just gotta get those right waves.
This event is great for the aspiring bodyboarders, as it is totally a proving test for all the young guys to come up against, you know, the established pros and, you know, the established up-and-comers.
Just watch and you just get inspiration. You see them do what they do and you're just like, I want to do what they do.
If you really want to make a name for yourself, you have to be out there doing your thing, beating the other guys, and especially taking out the mammoths of the sport, which is Dave and Jeff Hubbard guys.
Sometimes it's kind of intimidating because you have these big names in your heats, but you can't let it get to your head, even though they do. They have their mind tricks and tactics, but you got to get out there and prove yourself to them, to surf like them. One day you'll be like them, hopefully.
We're about to get deep into the IBA Sandy Beach Challenge with the junior pro groms coming up next. And later, the men, women, and drop knee pros. Keep it right here. Welcome back to the show, where the junior pro Groms are about to hit the water at the IBA Hawaii Tour Sandy Beach Challenge. As a relatively young sport, the generation shift in professional bodyboarding is more evident now than ever, with many of the under 18 junior pro competitors already doing battle in the men's pro division. The Groms are pushing the old guard and making way for the future progression of the sport.
There's a lot of young kids coming up, which is really great, especially here at Sandy's. I see them every day. Kavika, Kamai, we have from Hawaii, Tanner McDaniel, Sammy Morantino. There's just a whole crop of young kids all over this ripping, and it's really cool to see, and I really enjoy watching them progress and get better and better. And I know they're going to be competing at a really high level and beating the pros, so it's unreal.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up!
Right now, the young Groms, especially with all the new equipment nowadays, they're way ahead of their time. It pushes you, you know? It's not about getting beaten from them, it makes you get pushed just as well, you know?
Future of bodyboarding right now is looking very, very bright with this young guard that we have right now. I mean, I'm looking at the Groms. I mean, these guys are still early teens, maybe mid-teens. By the time they get to 17, 18, 19 years old, I wouldn't be surprised if they win a couple of world titles. I'm just saying, they're that good.
We live in a few countries, but the rest get only freedom that we bring is a vibe.
If you're young and you're doing like the junior pro, it's good experience. For me, I'm only 12 years old. It's inspiring because you get to see all the guys that are your favorite, and you're just like, oh my God, I want to be that guy when I get older.
These guys, they just push it to the limit, especially Sammy Morantino. He just blasts his airs on every section you could think of. I don't know, I wish I was 90 pounds too though.
The junior final showcased the current crop of the best young competitors coming up in Hawaii. These kids are proving the sport is in good hands and never fail to put on a show.
Throwing up a silent prayer. I don't know if it'll make it there. I'm just living life like nobody else cares.
Taking out the division and competing as a junior pro for the last time, Hawaii boy Sammy Morantino was a sure standout throughout the entire event. And competing in the men's and drop knee pro divisions as well, Sammy got a lot of water time.
It's a challenge. I mean, I've been doing it for a few years now. In the USDA, I would do all the divisions that I could, which was 4 divisions, and now there's only 3. But this is actually the last contest I can do the junior pro in, because I'll be 18 in November. Then I can just do the men's pro and the drop knee pro. My stamina won't really have to be as high anymore. Yesterday was actually a really big day for me. It was the 7-year anniversary of my mom's passing, so she was with me all day, giving me good waves, helping me throughout heat. I was just throwing flowers in the water for my mom out of respect. I do it every year, you know, give her her blessings, and it really helped me a lot out in my heats, I think, for sure.
We say, are you waiting in line for change of season to wash away the senseless pain and suffering? We say $700, Sammy Morantino!
Really happy I brought the title back home to Kauai, junior pro 2 times in a row. Really stoked on that.
Coming up, the women pros hit the water and the bodyboard crew show their humorous side. Keep it right here. Welcome back to the show, highlighting the IBA Hawaii Tour stop number 3 at Sandy Beach on Oahu. In the midst of all the competition, these bodyboard fanatics are still all about having fun, and the tight-knit pack showed their humorous side to our Board Stories correspondent, ALYSSA WOOTEN.
So, do you have any interesting nicknames that your friends might call you, or some nicknames that you call your peers?
Bula.
Bula.
My name is Mac. That should be a nickname already, you know, but get mac and cheese, get Mackie, get mac sauce, mac salad.
Curly fries. I don't know.
Mac Attack.
They just keep going on and on and on and on.
I have a nickname. I'm known as a mongoose from a young age. I guess I'm lengthy like a mongoose, and we don't actually have any mongoose on Kauai where I'm from, which is interesting, so I'm kind of a rare breed at home.
Some people call me Boogie, some people call me Blaine, Make It Rain, Andrew.
A lot of the guys from Kauai and over here call me McTeeny. They started when I was like 12.
A lot of people call him McTeeny.
McTeeny. I call Tanner McTeeny.
I don't know, McTeeny.
Matthew O'Rourke, I call him LMO, Little Matthew O'Rourke.
We made Sammy's nickname Meerkat years ago.
Meerkat? Muskrat?
The Meerkat.
Sammy, Meerkat.
He's a meerkat, he goes by that name.
He's always like popping his head out, yeah. Like, he's always right there watching it. Maybe that's why they call him, I don't know.
Keahi has a nickname, we call him Slonders. Dave Hubbard made it up. I'm not sure the origin of it, but it matches.
Slonderson, you know, for Keahi Parker. No Fear Lamphere for Alan.
I mean, some of the old crew, I mean, Ben Severson was called the Troll, and I was called Noodle.
Do you have any interesting or funny nicknames that people call you or that you call some of your friends?
Well, I don't know if they'd be funny, and I probably couldn't repeat them, but I've been called many things. And so yeah, I don't know. It'd probably be like beep, 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 beep.
Stewart's nickname is a scientist because he breaks everything down to the science.
Mike Stewart, Stew Bags, or, you know, Denty Moore, Ziploc.
The Wizard, AKA Stew Bags, pretty much the guy.
I don't really call him nicknames, I just call him Mike.
You know, then there's like kids like Spouting Horn, Michael Wrighthouse, who Ben Severson gave him that nickname after he blew water out of his mouth after landing an arse on the beach.
Guilherme, we call him like GT.
GT?
The Megalodon. Because he's just so like beastie, like a dinosaur, just crazy.
To Megalodon, I heard of that before.
I guess they call me Dub or Dub Zero. Sometimes my brother's Jub.
Hubby, Jubby, Dubby, Jeffrey. I like Jeffrey the best. Jeffrey sounds cool, yeah.
Sometimes I refer to Dub as Gandalf. Well, Jeff doesn't have a beard, but he still displays wizard-like techniques. He's more of like a wizard prince, I'd say.
The IBA Hawaii Tour showcases not only the top men, but also the women bodyboarders eager to show the boys what they can do. Highlighting the women's field with standout rides from bodyboard vet Karla Costa Taylor.
Times, highs and lows, even through the ups and downs.
But once again, Oahu West Side girl Melanie Bartels continued her IBA Hawaii dominance, edging out Karla in the final. Going for broke and pushing her limits, Mel found the gems to take the win.
Some warm embrace to bring a smile to your face, reassuring you that good things abound. You light my life.
Stick around as we break down the judging criteria and move into the drop knee pro division. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, down at the Sandy Beach Challenge for the IBA Hawaii Tour. Before we get into the drop knee action, let's take a closer look at what goes into the judging criteria at these IBA events.
My name is Pat Caldwell, the head judge for the IBA Hawaii Tour. Well, we're looking for a rider that's going to execute the biggest maneuver with the most speed in the most critical area of the wave. It's going to be the one that really lays it on the line and doesn't hold anything back and then completes the maneuver the best. They're going to get the 9s and 10s. I'd have to say that the big backflips and big ARSs executed above the lip and landing out on the flats cleanly is probably going to get some of your highest scores.
Yeah, I think as far as bodyboarding judging, the IBA Tour probably has the best judges in the world. I mean, I think that their attention to details that riders know about are really good.
Drop knee criteria is a bit different than the prone. as they don't get as much air and you know, they're not doing backflips and ARSs yet. Who knows in the future. But the criteria we're looking for in the drop knee is speed and control and full radius turns, and you're not holding onto the rail. It's much more difficult to do. Deep tube rides, when you can get a lot of speed drop knee from the bottom and just whack the top and throw big fans with a lot of control, those are getting the biggest scores today.
The technique of drop knee bodyboarding remains a true niche.
Drop knee is one of a kind. It's my favorite. It's like all of your muscles are formed up that you're kind of standing up on your knee, you know? Like your front foot is just turned just like you'd be surfing. And then all of your leverage is put into your back that when you want, you can release all that power right into one spot, you know?
Taking out the drop knee pro division was none other than world drop knee champ Dave Hubbard, with critical barrel to float combinations and a well-deserved self-applause. We're finishing off with the high-flying men's pro division, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the show, where the men's pro field is hitting the lineup at the 2014 IBA Hawaii Tour Sandy Beach Challenge. While it may be all fun and laughs on the beach, once these bodyboarders hit the water, it's game time, and they all know the importance of doing these IBA Hawaii events.
It's real important to compete in these events if you're trying to be an up-and-comer in the bodyboarding scene in Hawaii. As compared to the other events, Sandy Beach is just so prestigious and everyone wants that title, you know, to be the Sandy Beach guy.
Bodyboarding scene's pretty special because we got, you know, guys in their 50s like Mike Stewart, you know, original guys, you know, along with Alistair Taylor, Guillermo Tamega, you know, they're showing up here. And then there's super young kids, you know, Tanner McDaniel's, kind of nuts because there's at least, you know, like a 40-year spread between the field and everybody's bringing it. This tour in particular is awesome for the bodyboarding scene in the state because there hasn't been a Pro-Am tour in the state for quite a while. And with this tour, we're able to bring all the islands together, have events on most of the islands, and it really has been invigorating the bodyboarding scene.
This is one of the pivotal stops because competitors get to gain points that'll get them entered into the pipeline contest, and that really helps because they're straight into the pipe, which is their home. Most of them, they love it. Their home break, they live here. They get to compete, and you know, that's a big prize at the end of this tour is to compete pipe against all the best guys in the world.
Very important because it gives you points to qualify for the pipeline event. And the points are very vital because if you qualify, you don't have to do the trials, which is like doing a whole nother contest before pipe. And it really gives the little kids and even kids my age a chance to really surf against the pro riders on their level.
While the battles were tight, it was top seed and former world champ Jeff Hubbard who came from behind to take out fellow pro vet Guillermo Tamega in the close final.
We had 48 guys from all around Hawaii, the best guys in the state, coming to do battle here at Half Point, and they bring it. Everyone brings it. They're all amped on this, and you know, you're in the final, you're kind of going for the win. You can't really just grovel and try and get a small wave, so I was like, I gotta wait for a good one. Luckily, I got a good one at the end, and then 2 minutes left, Laramie gets another wave, goes ahead of me, and I was back to second. I was like, oh man, I want one more shot at this, and then luckily a wave came in right at the buzzer, and I got just enough.
Sandy Beach Challenge was another awesome event for the IBA Hawaii Tour. And now with only one event left, it's crunch time to get as many points as possible to get into pipe. Look out for the next event on the west side coming soon. Well, that's it for me, your host, Latronic. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you in the water. Aloha.